Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is our Rise of the Ancients: A Call of the Netherdeep campaign. I am joined by some really lovely players, and we're going to get back into basically a little small adventure before the start of a much bigger one. Um, and we're going to talk about everything that's happened up until this point, right after we introduce the whole cast once more. Par, could you start us off?
Absolutely. Hi, I'm Par. You saw me last week. You'll hopefully see me the rest of this campaign. I'm playing Jonesy, a reborn Water Genasi warlock. And it's a lot of fun to be here tonight, folks.
Loving Jonesy's vibe. They've just been swarming through the water doing this sick water shit. It's all really incredible. So thank you. Next we have Bashir.
Hey, I'm Basheer Ghouse. I play average Ahmed, he, him, an extremely average orc with nothing weird about him at all. He's punched some harpies to death over the last session. I am a freelancer in the tabletop gaming industry, and yeah, I'll pass it off to whoever's next.
Thank you, Bashir. Ahmed has been really fun to watch. Just absolutely dunk on everybody. As you can tell by the some of the highlights. Next we have Rena.
Hi, I'm Rena. I will be playing Sedge, who uses they them pronouns. And I'm having a good time being a furbolg. I was gonna say a regular furbolg, but Sedge is just a regular furbolg.
Regular Rollbulk. I hope we see more of Tony Oscar Hawk in the future.
Tony Oscar Hawk is a very good boy.
Save the day. Last time, save the day.
Right?
Speaking of saving the day, next we have Scout.
Hello, I am Scout Savage, also known as Neonsaline, and I am currently playing Aseneth, a Asmar Paladin of the Oath of Try the Everlight, not me, because I have no hands. I was helpful last adventure by preventing, an individual from doing something very dumb by shoving my hand in their mouth. So that was fun. And I'm very excited to get to the rest of this.
Yeah, it's quite the development. And also, Aseneth managed to do a couple things, which I'll go over later, but Aseneth did some really cool stuff. And finally, we have Rue.
Hello, I'm Rue. I use they or he pronouns, and I play Phases, the furthest possibly thing from average blood magic wizard.
The blood is the life, as they say. Phase is also coming to task with some awesome history investigation checks that has helped them at least find a couple breadcrumbs, which I've seen just... Yeah, you guys did great last session. I'm very proud of all of you. I am Charbox Xavier. I am the Dungeon Master for this game and the owner of this channel. I do cool stuff Mondays, Thursdays. Talk about that later. More importantly, let's get into our little recap. So firstly, oh, wrong one. I keep doing that to myself. So I'm gonna bring up our music from last time. Our adventurers, we don't have a name for these heroes yet, so I'm gonna call them sleuths. Our sleuths started in a
Might want to bring that down a little bit.
Oh, too loud?
Yeah.
Just like
Wow. Okay. All good. No, thank you. All right, cool. That's way loud. But the just crashing bells, I guess. That's start. I'll start you. So our sleuths started in a fortress known as the Ashgard Garrison, belonging to the Righteous Brand, the army of the Dwendalian Empire. There are diplomacy talks going underway, meetings concerning the future of certain holdings beyond Ashgard Garrison. The five of you were brought in as basically volunteers, paid volunteers, who were going to go into the marsh and recover bodies and destroyed equipment as a part of this exercise between the Kreen dynasty and the Dwendalian Empire. The captain there, Dietrich Albans, sent you to his lieutenant for orders. this lieutenant asked you to go to a place that was not sanctioned by the search teams and was off limits because of how dangerous it was. But a personal it's a personal mission of interest from this lieutenant that sent you there. And after a sort of voracious combat between harpies and yourselves, as well as a sniper from afar, you managed to apprehend and force this sniper into surrender. It became apparent that they were a drow, serving a strange organization known as the Children of Malice, Lulthites, who sought to bring down the Kreen, perhaps for some manner of vendetta, perhaps because it is the will of the Matron of Spiders. A lot remains to be seen. But this was not just some random sniper. This sniper was guarding something incredibly important to her mission here. The body of the captain. Captain Dietrich Albans has been dead for a very long time, as well as a variety of other soldiers. There were about 5 bodies there. Yeah, whoops. It's a big whoopsie.
Not
Mistakes
whoops.
were made.
Maybe not mistakes. Maybe this was planned for a long time.
Oh no, the mistake was sending us up here. Now
Yeah.
they're all going to die.
Mayhaps.
So, for the sake of my notes, because there are multiple military people involved, the captain is the person who is in the hole. The lieutenant who asked us to go look for their friend.
Very
are
much
they
alive.
also in the hole? Okay.
No, they're very
they
much
are
alive.
not in the hole.
So,
How'd they dodge that bullet, I wonder?
So yeah, this is an important thing to clear up. So there are so in this current dichotomy of the plot, there's 1 captain and 2 lieutenants. The lieutenant that died during the mission with Captain Albans was Talia Dern, and Talia was the one that Fritz asked you to find. You found Talia Dern in that tree with Captain Albans.
Gotcha. Okay.
So just clearing this up. So Fritz is new. Fritz said, "Hey, I'm a new guy. I want to find my old friend though. Don't expect her to be alive. Just I'm paying you guys to go into this unsanctioned area just so I can ease my conscience a little bit. So you go there and then you fight off this sniper, and now you are realizing there's a conspiracy afoot. You stayed in this area as night began to creep onto the marsh. With this sniper unconscious, some of your party had decided that instead of killing her right away, instead of going home right away, you would try to interrogate her. And perhaps with the spell Detect Thoughts at Phases' disposal, you could try to game out exactly what's going on, or perhaps some at least rudimentary idea. I think we're going to start there. Just imagine crickets and the croaking of frogs sort of fading into this landscape. You're sort of watching over these sort of swamp pools that glimmer in the fading light of the sunset. As things become darker and things become the shadows kind of creep along and then kind of dominate the space, you have this drow sniper here bound. But maybe where do you want them in this map? Like, we don't have to do it on the battle map, but this, like, what do you have any place you guys have set up camp?
I
Is
would imagine
inside the tree a feasible place to camp? Like, not on top of the dead bodies, but like presumably.
Honestly, yeah, it's pretty it's spacious enough. A little cramped maybe for 5 people, like standing up, but like it could fit at the very least 5 people lying down. So that's not an issue. You could put the body somewhere if you want.
Do I need to
Someone
take?
with a
I'll
backpack?
take watch. I'll take watch.
I would also take one later. We can take shifts.
Jonesy?
Jonesy doesn't technically have to sleep.
Oh,
That's pretty
Right?
cool.
So Jonesy will step outside of the tree and walk to the edge of the water and
As
submerge.
oh,
Crocodiling it. I like they did you kind of
All
crocodile
right.
the little head
That's
bump
sick as
bumping up.
hell.
that's
And
so cool.
As long as
This
I'm
much
not
of his face
doing
out of the
anything.
water.
Yeah, as long as I'm not doing anything for 4 hours, I get my long rest,
oh.
and then I just chill.
Thank you.
That's very cool. Actually, do you mind if I ask what does what are Jonesy's thoughts going into this watch, submerging themselves in water? What's going on in their head?
So Jonesy, I got down to 3 HP. Jonesy has not been under that amount of pain pretty much in their existence. And getting past a certain amount of pain, Jonesy went from like happy-go-lucky to something else was creeping in.
Does the water, as you're submerging yourself and you're letting kind of your like settling into a watch, sort of wrestling with these feelings, does the water stop feeling safe?
Stop feeling safe. This Jonesy spent most of the fight in water and was still. It didn't feel any safer than land. I'll put it that way.
All right. Good to know. Good to know. I think your familiar is named Drip, correct?
Yeah, nickname Drip.
I feel like Drip would sort of manifest slightly on your shoulder and kind of nuzzle your neck. Even though you're both technically water, so it does like the shapes don't really fit very well, but it is the presence, the foreign, the feeling, the familiar foreign entity, nestling into you.
It does help a lot.
I don't imagine I can't really imagine, because like you can correct me if my take on Drip is wrong, but sometimes I imagine if they were to make a sound, it wouldn't come out as an actual sound, it would come out like, so this kind of this like cooing.
Probably. Such
All I could think of was like a white noise machine doing like rain noises. Just...
Ooh, that's a good one. I feel like it's like bubble, like the white noise for bubbles. Like is the idea like a jet stream of bubbles kind of soothing to anyone?
That's emotionally very soothing.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
We got sheep noises over here under the tree, though, or at the tree.
Actually, I will say, did Baby feel? Was Baby scared at all during combat? How does Baby feel about being out here in the this sort of boondock of marsh?
Baby's chilling. He spends most of his time in his baby bag, so now that there's no immediate threat, he's like allowed to walk around and sort of like explore a little bit, but he's still on. He's also like he's on a leash, essentially, so he doesn't walk into the water.
Well, I was gonna ask if Baby was afraid of the water or anything.
No, he's if he could just walk right into it, like Wile E. Coyote, he'd like walk 2 steps and then realize that he was swimming and not walking. No, he's never seen a body of water this big, but neither has Sedge. So, or like I guess like murky water this big. There's a lake near where they live, but not like a swamp.
Depending on how far Baby's allowed to go, you see, like the baby sort of pat at the water and just try to see something through it, and like there's that like dog / goat like sense of discovery where like something's different. It's like the baby object permanent, like like an infant object permanence, or like and then just sort of like the prancing like jump on it, and like of course couldn't get anywhere into the water, but their curiosity is being saved at the moment.
Yeah. Sedge is encouraging this. He will grow up big and strong fighter.
Curiosity's a good sign.
Are we doing the interrogation before we rest or after? Like, are we doing it in the morning?
Presumably before we rest. We wouldn't want to waste time in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. So we should do that first, yeah?
Hmm.
I'm specifically not going to heal until after we've done the interrogation, and then I want to do something else before resting, because as a blood magic wizard, I can use, when I've taken damage, I can use my own blood in place of spell components, and I want to cast Find Familiar, but I'm going to wait until after we do the interrogation.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I love blood wizards, actually. That's very cool. I'm really excited to hear that. So, yeah, if you guys want to do the interrogation, I will say your sniper has probably woken up maybe in the past hour, but they're tied up, and there is this, it's not resignation, it's this sort of pensiveness. It's like these glossed over sort of whitish eyes, not staring directly at you, but like in your general vicinity, and there's this like look of pensiveness. Thought.
Jonesy still looking rough?
No, after that short rest, I spent all my hit dice.
Okay.
To get back to some meager health.
Okay. But yeah, Aseneth will kind of approach Phases. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Thank you. Let me hit the button so you know what to roll for detect thoughts.
Are you going to start with immediately pulling the mind?
I'm going to cast it and just have it ready. Like, I'm going to be doing the baseline in emotional state thing, and then if we get to a point where we want more information, I'll press.
All right.
Sedge is also going to come along for the interrogation, mostly to just look intimidating.
Okay. I like that. Okay. Detect thoughts. You initially learned what the surface thoughts of the creature was most on its mind in that moment. Now, here's a question for you, Phases. Are you trying to, because, like, detect thoughts is verbal, somatic material. What, are you trying to hide the spell at all? Because, are you trying to... Because
I mean, I wasn't going to cast it right... I wasn't going to cast it right in front of her, if that's what you're asking.
Okay, cool. I might...
Because I can keep it up for, I think it's 10 minutes.
No, that's what I thought. Cause
1 minute.
1 minute, yeah, 1 minute. So that's why I was like...
So I would have just gone, like, to a point where she can't see me, and then walked back.
All right. So we have a minute on here. I'm going to say for the purpose of this, we're not going to say it's 1 minute, because I don't want to have to keep you recasting it. And I feel like it's more interesting if you can use it for longer, so we're just going to be a little bit flexible there.
Thank you.
Scout, Aseneth, you are going to talk to her, correct?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to change up some of the music here. Just a little bit more of a... Let's see, maybe this will do.
Phases has just kind of like taken up a perch on one of the lower branches of the tree, and their tail is just kind of flicking back and forth.
Can you detect all of our thoughts, or like is it focus on the drow?
I have to focus individually, person to person. So I can shift it if I want to, but I have to focus person by person.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you needed to hear our thoughts too.
No.
Yeah. Although, unless if you want to like be like, what does Phases magic look like?
All of Phases' magic is like a dual color glow with a white internal and a red external color.
When you
So right now,
So
because
kind of like a lightsaber.
kind of like a lightsaber. So right now, like when they had cast it, you would have seen it around their fingers and then like around and up their horns. Presently, because it's just an active magical effect, their red eye is glowing with a like more red tinge, and their slit-pupiled eye is glowing almost like an eerie white.
Alrighty. Aseneth, you are approaching with Phases to the sniper.
Mm-hmm.
How you start us off? Like take us away here. What this you are just approaching this person with the intent to question them, interrogate them.
Definitely. Aseneth is very much. She moves like someone who is perhaps is not necessarily new to this, but probably hasn't done this specifically in a while. She'll crouch down, kind of one knee flat on the ground, but ready to move back or whatever. Pointedly very much on the rope that's binding the drow. Like, so her weight is on it. And she'll just wait a moment to make sure that the drow is, like, cognizant. Like, because we did kind of knock them out kind of hard. So, like, if they're not quite, recovered, then
Hey, you up?
we can wait longer.
There's a pensive silence, like same look as before, but as you're getting closer to her and approaching like that, she does look in your general direction, and the first thoughts start coming to Phases.
She took everything. I can't let her get anything more.
That was a cathedral voice mod, just to make sure people heard that. Right.
Very cool.
It's very cool. I love it.
Aseneth will kind of wait, kind of to see if she'll say something first. And when she doesn't speak, she goes, I do not enjoy making these things difficult. I would much rather just talk to you.
Surface Walder.
And looks up to Aseneth. I don't know. Do you?
We can start simply if you'd like. I have not been lucky enough to meet very many drow.
Will she believe everything I tell her? The matron says to spin the web of malice. Spin the web.
What was your question to Aseneth, to the sniper, real quick?
Oh, she didn't ask anything yet. She's just like,
I'm
I've never been lucky enough to meet a drow before. Just, we can start with why you're here. There's been a lot of conflict in this area, and there are perhaps more sides to what's going on than what we may have been told.
I'm gonna need Aseneth with advantage to roll me insight. And advantage is coming from Phases reading the mind, because
Cool.
so from Phases' perspective, this person has now entered a state of suspicion, in which they might be using any manner of training or techniques to try to guile the truth.
21.
21. So okay, so
Nice.
All right. So for phases, I'm gonna start with what this sniper tells Aseneth, and then I'm gonna say what this person's thinking, and then I will invite you, if you wish, to continue to try to go into deeper surface thoughts. My name is Faral. I live in a commune in the marsh, undisturbed by the Kreen and by the Twindalian Empire. Their war shook through the marsh and destroyed our village. I have been watching the borders of our village for some time. We do not welcome visitors, and the bodies here, we found them like this, but we imagined when some accord could be made that we could use them to show that we had goodwill and did not want to be disturbed further. And of course, what Faral actually says. My name is Faral. I have no intention of making peace with your kind or the Kreen dynasty. I have no intention of showing mercy to you or to your friends. My people have no intention of showing mercy to you or your friends. The matron will guide me through this, and I will tell them everything that I need to misdirect them so that the mission can be complete. My life does not matter. The matron, Mother will welcome me in her embrace soon.
I'm still laughing about no, we just found these guys here. They were already
Like that was bold. That's very bold.
And then we just didn't mention it to anyone.
We're waiting for the right opportunity.
Like, how
They were
tell
good.
somebody
I
about
don't
Five
know.
Nights?
Would have been fun.
Like,
That
awkward.
wasn't one of them.
Faral's a very good archer, excellent sniper, probably one of the best snipers you've ever seen. Doesn't need to lie all that often.
Yeah, no. It's definitely a thing you have to practice. And if
It's-
everyone's dead, then you don't need to lie to them.
Exactly.
I think Phases would have told Aseneth earlier, like, the direction their tail is flicking tells you if it's the truth or not.
Okay, so
So, like, back
Aseneth
in-
will very
So like,
calmly look back.
oh, you don't have to look back. Like, they're sitting like right above.
Oh,
the drow.
up above. Okay, so Aseneth just looks up and looks at the tail.
Phases is just like very like nonchalantly like book open in their lap, like they're not paying attention.
Nice.
Oh, very cool. Could I I don't want to ask you to do like a. I feel like in this it makes sense. Can you give me a deception check with advantage, Phases?
Oh yeah.
Just trying to make sure that like because we're entering mind games here, and mind games
absolutely.
everyone's like clued into almost everything. So with advantage, like some deception check.
Natural 20.
Whoa.
Oh, let's go!
Yeah.
That is awesome. Awesome dice, by the way. Awesome dice. So Phases.
Thank you.
So pouring into Faral's mind, just gleaning surface thoughts. You're just on your book, and the tail swishing. It's going so well right now. At the very least, you're determining that Faral's intention in this interrogation. Details. There's some mantra that Faral is going into. The mother welcomes me in her embrace. This might be your time to try to pull her further, or you can try to see if Aseneth can try to glean anything more from these current conversations.
Whatever you prefer, I can go in deeper if you want, or you can keep asking questions.
Aseneth kind of like visibly thinks, and she'll kind of do like the one moment gesture. Where I come from, we are to treat the opposing combatants in a conflict with dignity. I personally do not like this distinction at all times. I suggest you not lie to me again.
Her eyes widen slightly, and then go back and sort of... I have no idea what you're talking about. I have been nothing but truthful this entire conversation. She would, and that would repeat through the mind too. I was trying to think if there's anything she would. Is it sort of like, like,
She's perceptive. But she will either take my words or she will not.
I think Phases will like very like particularly like roughly turn a page in their spell book of like very like just like not getting anywhere.
Her name is Feral.
for all. I'm gonna put it out in the Discord chat for you.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, that'd be good. Probably spelled it wrong in my notes.
It's all right.
Aseneth moves in closer, just to really kind of get in there. Just Feral.
Oh, I spelled it right.
Yes.
I'm going to be extremely honest with you. Death is not a worthwhile end. There is so much work that we all do in this world. But I tell you now that death is frequently a kindness. Whatever absolution you hope to seek in it, if you lie to me again, I will make sure you never have it. I do not need to kill you.
You talk of death and the great works we can achieve in life. I have stared death down many times. And if this should be where I die, the greatest of my works, the greatest of our works, you cannot stop it. I may have failed, but that does not mean you can succeed. The greatest of my works is about to be achieved. So kill me! Do it! And oh, sorry, before I continue, in her head, you hear this sort of like Phases, this desperate voice, kind of like one cannot interpret it as sobbing, but if we want to sob, they would do it.
Children, I'm so sorry. I tried my best. I tried my best. I can't let them get to you. I can't. If you are to die, I will be there soon. I promise. The mother will have us. The mother will embrace us. The mother will have us. The mother will embrace us. And
she's fully anticipating like Aseneth to do something, anyone here to do something, or like for this conversation to be over and her to be murked, basically.
I would like to press deeper there and figure out what the I will if they find you, I want to press deeper into that thought.
I will make a saving throw with disadvantage because they are not in a very good state. They only have a +1 to their wisdom, so that is a 7.
All right.
So
then, I get the full. I get insight into its reasoning, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind.
Okay. Let's see. So I'll probably go through here. Um, so you can take a person thing. Sorry, I'm just trying to see the thing you said again.
Oh, you're good.
If it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, its emotional state. Its reasoning. I'll start with there. Its reasoning. This person. I might take a little slightly different direction here and maybe give you a little bit like of a more descriptive state. Some people choose to interpret detect thoughts like you're entering their mind palace. I like that as well.
Ooh, I do like that.
And I feel like her mind palace, the representation of her innermost thoughts. You see for Aseneth as Phases begins to probe deeper. Pharrell's eyes flicker red. And there's this strange, like, orbular shape that flickers in her eyes before Phases fully goes in. I would describe her mind palace, her manifestation of her thoughts as, I would describe it like a hallway, a sort of a very just sort of narrow hallway, starting in what seems to be like this desert-like atmosphere with rising pillars off in the distance, these large pillars. You would recognize this as the City of Beasts, Phases. Going deeper, you can see that it changes and shifts into what seems to be webs stringing along these buildings and eventually shifting into something that appears more cavern-like and cavernous. It is this strange, eclectic sort of mixture of images and signals. And you can start walking down its reasoning. Starting with its reasoning, reasoning would be state one sentence. These people saved me from hell. And there is this voices that begin to kind of clash in like sort of these memories.
Are you lost, little one?
And this drow child, matted and thick with hair in the City of Beasts, is looked upon by this woman of grace, this drow, with her hair tucked behind, regal but not queen-like in words. Shifting and shifting, you can kind of quickly discover, but just flicking through memories that as an orphan she was taken in by the Children of Malice and raised to be a weapon. Its emotional state, devotion, like just unending devotion and fear. It's a mixture of devotion and fear, where the people that she grew up with, this handsome drow, about the same age as her, fighting alongside her, two bugbears and a hobgoblin, adding to this seems like a cadre, a hit team. And emotional state is, I will devote my life to make sure that they do not suffer from my mistakes. If I will do anything possible to make sure that they do not fail, and they do not die. And that fear comes from that, where like this high tense situation with that natural 20, like you are, for all's mental guards are so low that you can kind of traipse through these memories, if that makes sense. And that woman from before, watching them grow, ordering them out, talking about why the surface is the way it is, why the Kryn need to fall, why they need to be exterminated, It started off very small and not as ill-natured, where it was like, well, perhaps the Kryn have hurt the surface wielders, and then it goes into, well, they hurt our creator Lolth, who loves all of her children equally. Lolth misses her children. She wants her children to come home, and we need to make sure and we need to advocate that the Kryn come home to Mother. Mother needs us. And going into, Mother and the other children are having a hard time. The Kryn need to come home, or they need to get out of the way. And then it gets more insidious until it fully becomes the Kryn are beyond redemption, and they need to be exterminated at all costs. Finally, something that looms large in its mind. There were supposed to be 6 bodies in the tree, but there are only 5. And it flashes to, if they can find the sergeant, the captain will be at risk. And this one last flash of memory, it seems very relatively recent, of this squad ambushing 6 members of the Righteous Brand, Captain Albans, Talia Dern. This battle in the swamp, similar situation where harpies were involved as bait, or as an extra element in this ambush in the middle of this grand scale battle for the garrison. The person who killed Talia Dern, from the eyes of Faral, backstab from a human, a sergeant. And the thing that looms largest in his mind is the sergeant, but is also
You're asking me to stay?
Faral's voice. And then you hear this very this very low but like also elegant voice.
We can't have them stumbling upon these bodies, Faral. Myself, Paku, Raba, Marden. We can manage just fine, and we need these bodies in order to continue the disguises, Faral. And the most important job here. I just don't feel right leaving you in there. I know we're supposed to, and I know we're not supposed to come back from this. I know we might not come back from this. I just don't know if I can do it without me. And there's a little small smile. For all, the Mother will welcome us both in her embrace. If we do this right, the Queen, the drow, will see that the Queen cannot survive without her. Not on their own. They'll drop this silly Luxon business forever. And pats her on the head and, now go, girl. Use these flares if you need to contact us. Alert us of anything. The code word is...
I need you to make me one final deception check. Contested insight deception check.
Just regular deception?
The regular deception.
19.
She rolled a 4.
Oh!
Roasted!
Oh boy.
Deception is Phases' best skill.
Get
Nice.
done. Okay.
The what?
Fuck.
The Mother welcomes us in her embrace.
And you hear Faral say,
And we are so happy to join her.
I'll write that down in the notes. And that you gain so much insight into this person that you can try to explore a little bit further if you want. Maybe like if Aseneth want to ask any questions, we can get deeper into that. But I wanted to make sure you understood all of that.
This is going to be very useful for when I pretend to be her later. But yeah, Phases will like keep the connection up if Aseneth wants to keep asking questions, but has kind of like settled back up against the tree.
But yeah, so as Faral is like screaming for them to kill her, and Aseneth just looks her dead in the eye and waits, like one waits for a child to stop throwing a tantrum.
Awesome!
No.
Give me an intimidation check with advantage there.
Yeah.
That's great.
$16.
Okay. Let's see if she's rolling super bad, guys. I'm gonna.
It's probably because she's tied up.
Probably because she's tied up, or probably because natural one. Natural one. Oh God.
So like this far away from her face, she's like, "Do it, kill me!" And just asking, "No."
Okay, so she's like, so it's like it's this toddler. Like, do it, kill me. You bested me. I don't want to die with dishonor. Do it, please.
Yeah.
Please do it, please.
Aseneth will kind of like smooth her hair off of her forehead. It's not up to me whether you die with honor or not.
And like just sort of sorry, I have to wipe my face for a second. And this just sorry if that was too loud, guys. But for all just sobbing into into the rope, just sort of like, I'm not gonna tell you anything, just do it. Don't tell you anything. I won't betray them. I won't. I don't care if it's dishonorable anymore.
Who said I wanted you to betray them? You make your choices, and we will make ours.
And like there's this silence. There's this sort of like she's heard her sobs just like echo out from the swamps and the marsh, and there's this mixture of pangs of shame and like just sort of flabbergasted. Like what does this person want from me? You're not even like Varal's just sort of like, you're not even righteous brand or the crane. What do you get out of all of this?
Mostly gold.
Just.
I think from wherever the rest of us are setting up camp while the interrogation is going on, Ahmed just kind of raises his voice and goes, "We're trying to sleep. Can you please just get her?"
Sorry.
If Ahmed is laying down to try and sleep, Baby has decided to sleep next to him.
That's all right.
I feel like it's like a I don't know if Ahmed is sleeping on their back or on their stomach, but I think Baby would just like climb onto like the small of their back, and just like pat it like it's like a cushion, and then
lay down on top.
I'm
extremely comfortable, but you are extremely loud.
Aseneth will take some of the clean rope out of her pack because she's determined to treat this person with some level of base humanity. Egg, like, through the teeth so she can't chomp down. Gagger, just... How unfortunate for you that you've come across probably one of the sole groups of adventurers that was willing to listen to a paladin. Good luck. And she'll pat her shoulder and kind of foist her over to the tree and like tighten everything up.
So, Aseneth has dedicated herself to not killing this person. Will that change anytime soon?
It will genuinely depend on if another attempt is made on someone's life. Because she's Faral has clearly just like broken down and kind of doesn't know what to do with the situation. Like, it's very clear that she assumed that she was going to die here, and now that she's not, she may turn over a new leaf. A lot of people have turned over new leaves. Aseneth might have turned over a new leaf in such a similar situation. So this might be a new way forward for her. However, if someone's life is threatened by this woman after this point, I tried. I tried.
Is not technically the murder if you leave her here to die starvation.
I think if
Oh,
we leave
the
her here to
Everlight's not
starve,
gonna like that
Ahmed
one.
will just mercy kill her at that point. Starving's no way to go.
Yeah, that really isn't. Aseneth would kill her too. But it's just like you have one more try. Like, this is 3-strike rules. First strike was shooting my friend. Second was very terribly trying to bait me into murdering you. You got one more.
You didn't even
got one
fucking
more.
bait me well.
So, I rolled a little check
Mm.
for her.
My favorite thing for DMs to say.
Oh, fine.
I want you to add to your biography, or like to your notes, Aseneth,
Yes.
plus 0.5 Everlight.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. What's it like to be a good person?
Good
Hard
job for
fucking
not killing
work.
that drow.
Good. I mean, it's not even the bare minimum, which is it's way more than the bare minimum. It's you know, a good person. There are a lot of things a good person might do, and then there are a lot of things a follower of the Everlight would do. So
Yeah.
that's where you've earned that little cryptic tidbit. I'm gonna say I want to ask Jonesy for a perception check for their watch, because they're watching all night. And I say that would probably be the most event of the biggest event that night. You know.
Okay. Perception.
Nice.
I am liking that. I am liking that. I do want to use knowledge from past life, though.
Ooh.
That's cool.
To just pump
Knowledge
on
from
an extra
A thing that we all got.
I love
an extra
that.
D6.
Okay.
Oh, snap.
Just see if I do any, anything crazy. 25.
Okay. So, I'm gonna change music here to see if I want to do anything else for music.
Sleeping
Ooh.
music.
Let's see if this works for us. Knowledge from the past life. You're keeping watch with the 25. There's not a lot escaping your sight. I feel like you're so hyper aware of your surroundings that I would say you start imagining sounds, but it feels kind of weird, the lapping of the marsh waters, and just sort of gazing out along the surface of the water in the middle of the night, giving watching this tree that where everyone's sleeping. I feel like you hear the seagulls sort of like you know, and like bells, and there's this strange sensation of hearing in double, like hearing in stereo. One layer of stereo is just everything around you. Next, you're hearing these oddly familiar sounds to you, as if you have sort of bathed or stayed in the water this long before. On clear days, when the water seemed to stretch eternally. Light clouds in the sky, the blue azure of the sky matching almost that of the sea. Bells of ships to depart. And there's this serenity that washes over you slightly as you're hearing in double. Feeling almost kind of like a core memory. This is very eventful music. I just want this little like, I don't know. This is this feeling of tranquility, but like of impending adventure, impending departure, and that's what you get. Without incident, night passes, and all of you wake up to a...
I am summoning my familiar before we go to bed.
Thank you. That's the one thing I feel I'm forgetting something. I'm so sorry, Phases.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm just letting you know.
Okay. So, what kind of familiar do you summon?
So anyone who is not asleep, probably just Aseneth and Jonesy at this point, watches as content warning. This isn't self-harm, but Phases is a blood magic user, so there will be some bloodletting involved. Phases pulls like this very like ornate sort of like crystal like dagger out of a bag and slides it across their hand. I have to take 1d6 points of damage. 1 second. How do I just roll a d6?
There's a little chat bar. There's little buttons underneath the chat bar of the chat in the Foundry. You just click the one of the shapes. Ooh.
Oh, it is 6, but that's okay. We're literally resting right now, so it doesn't matter.
And it's a pretty big familiar coming at you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big boy.
And without having to say anything, without having to do anything, without having to use any spell components, the blood sort of like seeps into the floor and flows into the sigil that they've carved out in front of them. And after 10 minutes of quiet contemplation under the moon, a bat sort of like unfurls its wings. A flying fox, not one of the huge ones, but like a mid-sized flying fox.
I was gonna say like the man.
Not the 6 foot tall South Asian ones. Probably closer to like the
South American ones that are like 3 feet.
Yeah, like a South American flying fox.
Now, under normal circumstances, people interpret bats to be quite creepy and unsettling, but they look like little flying dogs.
They're cute.
They're cute
They're
flying
so cute.
dogs.
Flying foxes are pretty.
They are. I will say they're cute. As a microbiologist, they are a vector for like 150 different human diseases.
So many diseases.
So like,
yeah.
Don't touch them.
Things are cute can hurt you.
Clearance from their handlers, and even then, be careful.
Exactly.
Things
You
are
have to
cute
gotta
can
throw
kill
a towel over them and bring them outside.
So you can see the black beady, they're not beady, but the large black plate, like dinner plate eyes, and the snout, and then the sort
of a baby.
What are you gonna name it?
It's just quiet with its like tongue sticking out slightly, like.
And like they'll reach out and like scratch behind its like big ears, and just hello, Kismet.
Kismet.
Nice.
It has been a while. I have not summoned you in a while, but I think you will like to see all of this.
Ooh. So
then I will go to bed.
All right. So
before you go to bed, Aseneth.
Oh yeah.
I greatly appreciate your assistance earlier. That would not have gone nearly as well without you.
Oh, no problem. I mean, what is the point of all of my years of schooling if I don't use it for things like this, yeah? You did that very well. You handled yourself very well, that conversation. I think I would have gotten quite frustrated.
Oh, it was very frustrating.
I can share with you. I was taking notes while she was thinking. I will share them with everyone in the morning.
Yes, in the morning. We should all rest.
Yeah. Good night. And thank you, Jonesy, for watching from the water.
You're welcome.
Phases is delighted by that. Like, absolutely delighted. Schlurk.
But yeah, that's all. That's all Aseneth wanted.
So I'm gonna say it is 10:38. We will probably take a break here because it's a nice time transitioning to night. Everyone's regaining hit points, spell slots. You guys are getting equipped to maybe start making a plan on how you want to handle this information. Whether you guys get hell dodge, you try to handle this. You are now settling in with the information given from Faral's mind, and the fact that there could be not only infiltrators and saboteurs who have taken the faces of people, but a traitor in the Wretched Brand garrison. We will take a quick break and then we will get back into it. So everybody, we'll be back in quick 10.
Double crossing the double crossing.
Right?
Crossing in the
Somebody
double
crosses.
crossing.
Gotta keep them straight.
And we're back. Hi, guys. We are back after a little quick break. Night has passed. We have fully returned to the world of Exandria. The Brokenveil Marsh sings with swarming bugs and croaking amphibians. The five of you wake up your prisoner Faral in the same place as she was, maybe lying down, sleeping. You have not decided her fate, or not, at least you haven't decided what to fully do with her. You haven't decided how you want to get, if you want to get back to the Ashgar garrison, or what is there like a round table, like the five of you come together, maybe discuss things?
I mean, presumably we're eating breakfast the next day, so
right?
Yeah.
I don't think any of us can skip eating.
No.
And someone has to feed her, feed
No.
the prisoner, or
Yeah.
at least try to.
And like I said, Phases took notes last night and will share them with the group when they are out of earshot of the drow.
Mind reading, huh? That's a neat trick.
Oh, thank you. I went to school for, frankly, a ridiculously long time to be able to do it.
All amount of school is ridiculously long time.
Yeah, I'd say it's. See, I mean, I wouldn't know. Never really had any formal schooling, but I'd say seems a little invasive. But considering the situation, yeah, I get it. But
It's
yeah.
very invasive, but
Yes,
Well,
it
I
is.
can't really
We're
speak to
pressed.
highfalutin philosophy and morality and stuff, but I'm going to take your word for it. You know better than me.
I will say that about a third of magic is extremely intrusive, and the other 2/3 are extremely painful. So there's not very much of the magic that I can do that is not like that.
Well, as long as it's aimed at other folks, I suppose it'll work out fine. Let's see. We've got all this information. We've that garrison's in some trouble then if we don't do nothing, because
Yes.
captain and all of that stuff that's going on, and they've got traitors in the ranks and etc. etc. It's a bad situation all around.
I would, now that I know the code exchange, I would like to disguise myself as Faral when we get back and speak to the captain. And either at the same time or after, whenever we would like, we can speak to the lieutenant who we did not find in a hole, and
Alright,
tell him the truth.
All right, so you take your disguise and you speak with the captain, and we'll speak to the lieutenant with the information and bodies and prisoner we've got, and hopefully we also get paid.
That would be nice.
Very
I
important.
believe we may have a little more interest in figuring out what's going on as well.
Yes, I know from what I saw, this group that she's a part of is situated and headquartered in the City of Beasts, or near the City of Beasts. I presume they actually live underground, but if we wanted to tell someone to explore deeper, that is where I would send them.
Entire city of beasts?
It is what it is called.
It's a name.
It's a name. It is not like there are only beasts that live there, if that is what you are asking.
Disappointing.
Do we want to do
Beasts
history?
as in uncouth and wild, rather than a repository of nature.
Does anyone want to
Would
do
love to see.
Oh,
Sorry.
so please. Sorry.
Would love to see democracy that animals create.
Does anyone want to make me a history check? Sorry, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. I will make a history check.
I will not be making a history check.
I've probably at least been through there, if not been there physically.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
If this is for this could be for people who haven't
Nope.
been to Jorhas. This could be for people who've been to Jorhas, but not maybe not. Let's see.
I don't know shit.
20 not natural.
20?
I'm
Okay.
just not gonna roll and assume I know nothing about it.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
I'll take your word for it, but I'm gonna be honest. Beasts as in uncouth actually sounds worse than beasts as in monsters.
It seems
that
a
is an
little seems
active
rude.
decision to slander the populace.
So, the 20 history
I think that's the
check.
first time you've seen Aseneth actually make like one of those assholeish faces. She's like kept to herself, just like.
So, 20 on your history check. You have been to Asarius, the city of beasts, before. It is a one of the, if not the second or third largest city in all of Xhorhas. It is one of the main concentrations of the Kreen, besides Rasona. A city where mostly goblinoids, gnolls, sort of primarily stay. It is ruled by Den Olios, and guarded by the captains of the Aurora Watch. There are several shrines to the Luxon, as well to other deities. You can maybe, since you rolled so well on your Children of Malice, you do know that the Children of Malice do stalk there. It is one of the places less observed by the Kreen authority, like the Luxonites. Is where other faiths are sort of embraced a little bit more. It could be easy to disguise what the Children of Malice, like, it could be easy to guile the worship of Lolth as other deities, and that's perhaps also how they recruit. But beyond that, you don't have anything specific to know about the Children of Malice there. Besides that, yeah, you've been to Asarius. It's a very, very hot place. It's encircling and covering this massive cracked hillside, and it's there are a lot of beasts there. A lot of beasts, as in like animals and beasts of burden. There are a lot of different trades there. I would call for breeding, more bounders and other ilk.
Yeah,
More
they
bounders.
breed more bounders there.
More bounder, the big animal, yes?
Yes, they're like very large cats, but with tusks, and they have goat eyes, like me.
We can get kit of one.
Well,
They're
that
very
does sound
expensive.
delicious.
No.
I don't know if you eat them. They are very expensive because they are like mounts.
Oh, wow. Never mind then.
But feasibly, at some point, you could eat them when they are no longer mounts.
Technically, muskox also edible, but maybe too small.
Ah.
Holding them up. Also, is start of new heart.
Oh.
Very exciting. Marauders would be awesome in a herd. So you guys are going back. So decision is you are making your way back. You're cooking dinner, or you're cooking breakfast. And maybe you guys haven't talked about what to do with Thrall. As she's munching on, I don't know what you guys might have prepared, but is anyone cooking? Is there anyone here who has a particular vision of what breakfast looks like?
I'm
eating a pancake. I think I bought like an extra pancake, right?
Took the rest of the pancake.
Oh,
Josie?
you're eating pancake food. Okay.
You might want to heat that up.
Yeah,
For a little bit.
I think I'll probably cook it a little longer. But yeah, food.
Or did you have something that Jonesy wanted to cook?
I have a clear vision of breakfast, which is nothing. Jonesy
Oh.
does not eat or drink.
Oh.
Okay.
I have a question. If Jonesy drank water, is it cannibalism?
Gee, I've never thought of
That's
this
like-
question.
That's
Like,
the
I
kind
just-
of question that Sedge would ask. Like if Jonesy has explained to the group that like
I have manifested that for you.
yeah, because he is water, Sedge will just
Yeah, they are water.
You do not drink water?
I drink water.
If you drink water, you're like drinking like of yourself?
No, I can drink outside water, and Jonesy will.
Yeah, but it's not like a word in common. Eat of yourself. Like
Oh, cannibalism.
yes.
Vor?
That.
Or celophagia, I think is the other word for it. I haven't had to think about this in a very long time.
No! That's what Bashir said! I'm making sure everyone heard it because I had to hear it!
Do not know other words. The word that the moon tiefling use. Yes. Cannonball.
Autophagia.
By what's going on right now.
Do you guys feed Fadal anything?
Yeah.
Aseneth will try.
Something that isn't the pancake. I feel like that falls under the torture clause, and we are avoiding that.
I was gonna say if you guys did that, I don't know. So yeah, like you can feed Fadal rations, some rations.
Yeah, I
Under
feel like
mercy
get some
killing.
rations and just like water.
She doesn't refuse. She drinks water and eats, and is just sort of like, it's kind of good.
Slept on that whole dying thing, huh?
It's kind of good. Like mouthful, slightly full of food. It's sort of like I don't know if anyone has like the post meltdown like eat.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Is absolutely
you cry
like,
for like 3 hours. The first thing
You
you
cry-
eat tastes like fucking manna from heaven. You're just like,
yeah, and she doesn't want to show it. But she's having a good time with just rations. And, like, you don't even know how long it's been since she's eaten.
yeah.
It's like ghillie suit, like
Yeah.
like waiting in the trees, like not making any moves for weeks. And she's just like, and just it's just silently chewing. It's just like,
Sedge is gonna come over actually, with baby,
mhm.
and like sit him down in front of them so that like she can see and kind of interact with him. And Sedge is just gonna look at them for a long time in silence. I don't know if Faral is gonna speak first or not.
I think there's a moment where she's just staring back at you in silence, not in any contempt or indignation, just staring at you. And before it's just sort of like the creature next to you. Their fur looks kind of soft, bound, so they can't do anything with it. Just looking at that baby.
He is muskox, very soft. I'll pick up baby and I'm gonna like rub him against her face.
She's trying very hard not to like show that like this is one of the softest things that she's ever like felt in the world, and she's sort of like, that's nice muskox. Muskox. Just sort of
One day
like,
will be bigger than horse.
I don't actually have a point of reference for that. I don't really see
smaller
horses
than-
much.
Smaller than a moorbounder, but not so small as a large dog.
And Moorbounder clicks in her head. Almost as big as a Moorbounder. Oh. Not many things are bigger than a Moorbounder.
Very large.
So, you're not going to kill me.
Niet.
Are you going to leave me here bound? If
Niet.
I think
Am
this
I
is
coming with you?
Take back to yeah.
you're taking me back.
I
Da.
believe that's the plan. I mean, probably gonna keep you out of sight of the fort for a little bit, but
Yeah, put
No,
put you
more or
in
less.
backpack.
You do understand if just moment of just like monumental immense sadness, like, oh, that's the feelings I've been avoiding for a while. If you stop Kildrim, won't I and the others be executed for treason? Are you going to
Possibly.
lead me back to be executed?
I'm not a
You
legal
may just
expert.
simply be imprisoned. We have no way of telling.
I do not decide what the people in charge do with other people.
All right, fine.
You
Do what
were
you will.
asking to die yesterday.
And at least this way you might die with your friend.
That occurs in their mind, and then sudden relief, and just sort of like, thank you.
Don't thank me yet, you're not dead yet. Yeah, that's kind of like
I'm sure they got some sort of work release program around these parts.
Are you? Is for all of for all to sort of like it's like, oh no, the venting I did is being thrown back at me. So
we've all
absolutely.
been there. Just at the end of a fight, just fuck you. Do what you gotta do. Take it. We've all been there. I've been there.
Well, I guess that is a certain amount of closure I didn't think I would get, even if I would die. Start. Oh, go. Sorry.
I do have to inform you. I am sure you're quite good at staying quiet for long periods of time. However, we don't know how long we need you to be unnoticeable.
I can be unnoticeable.
If you are quiet, you can hold the baby.
All right.
I'll put baby in her arms.
I just see like him like flailing a little because you picked him up.
So Feral's holding baby and looks to Sedge. For the record, I regret trying to kill you. Specifically you.
Appreciate it. I have child to take care
Well,
of.
that's fair enough. Was that needed? We gotta head back soon, or
Yeah, so
Everyone got in
I'm
the
gonna
last
say
minute.
you guys were probably already on the road as this conversation was going on. How are you guys taking the bodies? How are you carrying the bodies?
Oh,
We got backpack. Just wrap them up, shove them in.
I can carry all of them. I have enough
I
carrying
was just
capacity.
gonna say, oh, Jesus.
Hold on, I have to look up.
What?
I'm gonna.
It's 5 bodies.
Are
these-
It's
okay,
5
no,
bodies
hang
that
on.
have been desiccated for months.
Yeah, are they bog bodies?
yeah.
Are they marsh mummies? 'Cause
They're-
if they're marsh mummies,
So
you can
here's-
shove those guys in a backpack.
I remarked this in the last episode. They are dry. They have been well kept. They are mummies, almost. Well, it's been about months. It's been months. I won't say it hasn't been a full year since the first attack of the Ashgard garrison, but they have been taken care of. They have no armor on them. Mostly like.
I
Yeah,
have 600-pound carrying capacity.
Yeah, just wrap them in
Ratchet-
fabric
Yeah,
and just strap them
absolutely.
to
I
a
carry
man's
it
back.
almost enough on
wrap
me.
them in Muslim just to like keep them from
Yeah.
being like super messed up as we travel. Like,
And just kind of.
Phases is watching you do this with like absolute awe.
Like I said, I'm a porter. I carry heavy things for y'all.
Sedge just gonna
All I do.
like slap you on the back like strong like ox, yeah.
I
Okay.
am starting to think you may have been underselling your capabilities. Extremely average, Ahmed.
I
It's
cannot
about normal
carry
lines, bro.
even one of these.
All right.
Feral is also watching with awe. I don't know who if she's being carried or is walking along.
I think we will also have to put Brawl.
Walking? Just
Uh,
like
Probably just
kind
walking,
of,
holding
like
the
have the
mouse box, right?
someone has the lead, so she has like some freedom to where she can walk. But if she tries to run or something, you can
Okay,
Yeah.
keep a hold. But yeah,
cool with me. So we're gonna get back to Ashgard. There are go ahead.
Do we want me to make her invisible or no?
Yes.
that might be a good idea, especially if you're taking her form.
I can do that. And so I will cast invisibility on her, as we're right outside of town.
Okay. So you guys get back to town. She's invisible. You're carrying bodies. There,
Is Baby also invisible, or is he floating?
I think
she's carrying
because
him, so anything.
she's holding him. He's
Okay.
Yeah, that's the ruling I've known for invisibility, where if you carry something,
You're
it's-
carrying something. It's also okay.
yeah. Though that would be very funny. It also, yeah, it would be very funny if it wasn't the case.
Floating baby must have.
What is with that strange floating kid?
It's normal.
So, you come back to town. There are, actually, before you come into town, there are, several members of the Righteous Brand who, Hail! Hail!
Ah,
You must
What?
be, you must be
morning.
you must be the
Morning.
missing volunteers.
Missing.
That's right.
Oh, we're
You didn't-
missing.
we were waylaid. Yes.
We were about to organize search parties today. You might want to report to your supervisor as well as the captain.
We will.
People were understandably slightly concerned that the team was still out, but it was nightfall. We didn't want people getting lost. Take care of
That's
yourselves.
Totally understandable.
You have quite the hole there. That's quite couple bodies.
Yeah, it's unfortunate situation, but I imagine it'll answer some questions that haven't been for a bit, like, you know, find the missing and all. Yeah,
We
Which
should
is why it
probably
take us
depart.
so long.
It's important to.
Harpies
these
weren't
people
super
back as soon
accommodating about it,
they
but
can.
yeah, I figure, you know, it's good news all in all.
Are you guys keeping any information about the bodies hidden or like trying to act cool?
The bodies are wrapped
Yes.
up, so you can't tell
Yeah,
who they
we're just
are.
not mentioning
Yeah.
it. Just like, yeah,
Okay.
found a bunch
Like,
of
these are bodies we
Unfortunately,
found.
we
Like,
mentioned.
we're just
There are
bringing them back.
bodies.
Cool. These guys are just more concerned for your safety. I don't think there's any role for right now involved in trying to keep the bodies.
To let you know, the intelligence about the harpies was correct. There are also pits in the harpies' territory, which I imagine is how some of that happened. And
Ooh,
you just-
Wait, harpies? What
No,
territory
we
were
were
you going
attacked
to?
by harpies.
Where were you assigned?
That's what-
We took a wrong turn somewhere.
we got
Got a
misdirected.
little lost in the muck. It got a bit rough there for a bit.
Does anyone
In
want
Harpy territory, out of Harpy territory, no biggie.
Does anyone want to give me a deception check?
I can. Would you like me to?
I think
Can
Phases
I-
should.
Can I try intimidation? Just we got misdirected.
You can do
Stop
it.
fucking
Give me both. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, my charisma's
Watch
a
me.
10, so.
Absolutely wrecked us.
16. Okay.
Nah, that was bad. Don't.
With
I
an
can
intimidation.
oh no, I don't have that.
With intimidation, I'll do a little roll here. Why not? Give me. That's a natural one.
Oh, it worked anyway.
This guy, like, whether he believes you or not, does not care. He's just sort of like,
Aseneth has the energy of a person. You know that person at the truck stop who's been driving for way too long and they're hungry and they just want their fucking food.
yeah.
It's that. It's the. I want to get back to town. We got misdirected.
The-
Stop asking me questions.
There's like,
Like that entire like aura.
I think there's a look on his face of just sort of like, I have to go through so much swamp. I don't want this paperwork. I don't care. It's just sort of like, well, regardless, we'll talk to the captain about it. We're glad you're safe. Yeah, take care of these swamps, these marshes. You can get very lost in here. They're quite dangerous fauna inside.
Where is Captain?
Captain should be in the main keep, but report to your supervisor first, of course. The bodies.
Where is the supervisor? Where's the lieutenant?
That'd be Fritz Gadab, your lieutenant.
Yeah,
Our buddy.
where's good old Fritz?
The soldier also says, also for body deposit, there will be there's a little if you go past the keep, there should be an area where we've been landing them up and getting ready for burial service. A good day. Dawnfather be with you, and sort of marches off, stomping through the marshlands. Just volunteers.
We cannot.
You too,
take
little
these
dude.
bodies.
Uh-huh.
We cannot take these bodies to the proper preparation area.
No. Oh no.
No, we're
No.
going to Fritz first.
Do you
We
think
just-
those
we just keep
stable boys
walking.
could be sufficiently distracted?
Well, not even the stable boys. We're going to Fritz.
We're
He's
going straight
not
there, right?
among the bodies. He's probably not replaced, and he didn't know enough about the thing to be a traitor.
That remains to be
Wow.
seen.
Well, probably not. And if he is a traitor, well, there's going to be one of them in a room.
Both
No.
both invisibility and disguise self are concentration spells. So I will have to drop the invisibility when you bring her to Fritz, so that I may put it on when I go
Alright.
to see the captain.
We'll do that in
Understood.
Fritz's office.
All right. So you guys march
Alright.
up. Go on.
Uh,
So there's a room on the second, on the basically the walls, the bulwark of the garrison, that leads to Fritz's office, and he is nervously pacing, twinging his fingers. You guys open the door, and he's,
Lieutenant, good news or bad news?
"You here?
Ahmed!
Good news or bad news, Lieutenant? What do you want to hear
Please
first?
don't.
First of all, come on in, guys. I am so sorry. I should have given better directions. I was worried that the harpies got you.
No, it's okay.
Asking for
It's
shut-
okay.
I got-
we
you
need
know
to
what, I
close
got-
the
Are
door.
there,
I owned up to the trouble.
Pull
Guards
everybody in
outside.
and close the door
Yeah.
behind us.
Yeah, no, like I'm looking for guards, see how many people are about. We're just gonna shut the doors. Maybe if there are any windows, shut those too. Are there any other entrances to this room, or do we come in the only way there is? Like,
Just this one. I can, and closes like one, like a window looking up into the Brokenveil Marsh.
You can drop that concentration, boss.
Paylor! Oh my God!
You stand up, it's fine.
That's Cream. Why'd you have a Cream tied up?
No, it's not. Shh.
That too. Well, let me put these down. One of them is bad news. One of them is your friend. Good news. Decent odds you're gonna get a promotion soon if we all survive the night.
Ahmed, please.
Okay. What? And like, Feral gives this little head nod, like, "Hey," and Fritz is just sort of like,
I think our guest may be offended if you call her Cream, so perhaps do not.
"What?
Ahmed will like
Please
kind
don't.
of put the bodies down as respectfully as he can and get the one that's his, like the person he knows. Like this is the lieutenant who, you know, your friend, and
Very
the
sorry.
other
Dawn,
four. Well,
I
one of them is the
believe-
captain, which means that
Yeah,
there's some
the
issues
one-
because
the
Captain-
captain is
Captain?
Oh, my.
the captain in the fort is not actually your captain. He's
Whoa.
been infiltrated for some
Hold
time.
Ahmed,
on,
Ahmed!
hold on there, look, guys.
Oh, right.
Hold-
Yeah, I'll let you take care. I'll let you take charge of this. I'm a bit enthusiastic on these things.
So
Not really my forte. I'm, you know,
no, like you hear
mostly
Fritz.
deliveries, and this is a bit outside of scale for me.
Fritz is just sort of like just like this is
so much.
explosive sort of like chunk. That's that. This is some kind of prank, guys. I mean,
Sit down, Lieutenant. Sit down.
no,
Lieutenant, please.
what are you talking? What are you guys talking?
Please.
He sees the body. He sees the body of the captain, and it's just sort of like, "No, that's some nice magic you guys got going
I
there."
can only do one concentration spell at once.
I am very, very sorry.
But the captain's out. But then he's.
Breathe.
No, that's
We need your help. There is a sergeant that we need to find.
What is name of Sergeant Farrell?
And Farrell is just sort of like blinking and eyes wide, and like didn't even know you guys knew anything about a sergeant. Like, first of all, there are a lot of things going on at once. All the while he's been talking to you, his eyes haven't really left the body of Talia. Talia. He's kneeling down over her as you're talking about the captain. He briefly looks at the captain, sort of like the flabbergasted. He's like focused on Talia for a while and looks at her body, respectfully turns her over. Aurora watch blades are curved. Their blades, their daggers, their swords, stabbing weapons are all curved, but this wound, it's a long sword. And he stands up, and like there is no like before he had this real weird neuroticism to him, even before any of the situation happened. Like this neuroticism, this sort of like awkwardness, all that's faded away very quickly, and sort of like
now we get to
Oh
see why
yeah,
he's a
Aseneth
lieutenant.
was just kind of right with him, just Lieutenant. Trust me, I understand, but we need to do this.
No,
carefully.
I understand. Give me a moment. And he goes to his file cabinets and pulls out some things. The bodies next to Lieutenant Dern and Captain Albans. Adrian Fessig, Corporal Adrian Fessig. Narda Maladis. Corporal Kaena Hale. The sixth, who reported by the captain in previous report, alongside the rest of the squad, were attempting to find ways to tackle the horizon-back tortoises during the first battle, before they were ambushed. They said everyone but Dern came back. Talia held them off. The person we're missing is Sergeant Metis Clay. Sergeant Clay arrived back with the 3 corporals and Sergeant Albans, and they gave Dern a service elsewhere, Fort Venture perhaps, after Lashkar Gears was taken. Alright, so here's what's happening. If if Captain Albans isn't who he says he is, and these other people who aren't who they say they are, they have sensitive information involving the Righteous Brand and the Dwendalian Empire in their hands, perhaps proliferated over the time they spent in this command position. Diplomacy is going on between Emissary Lord Edengraf, the Aurora Watchmage Lythia
Oh
Fazoon,
shit, that's happening now too. Fuck. Okay, continue. Sorry.
as well as Taskan Navira Miram. Like there's just almost monotone, and then just drops the report, goes to a part of his desk, pulls out something from his pendant, takes a little marker, this inkwell, and puts the thing on his necklace, this little pendant, dips it in ink, pulls out a chest, opens it, and then inserts the pendant into a part of the chest. And there's a dagger with brilliantly ornate dagger with this golden sun emblem on the end, and he pulls out as well as its sheath and begins fastening it to his belt.
Lieutenant, I assume you have a plan.
No, I don't. Frankly, we're compromised. I don't know how deep we're compromised, but you're going to need my help.
So the captain's in negotiations right now, you're saying?
Diplomacy is still underway. I don't know when this...
But he's in a meeting, and he's not, outside of that meeting. He won't be for a couple hours.
Like, is the captain
Or
himself
at least,
in the
a couple
meeting?
minutes or something.
After finishing with today's briefing, they're going to send a search party after you. He was going to continue to preside over diplomacy talks between the Emissary Lord and the Task Hand.
And you outrank the other 4 infiltrators that aren't him.
I do.
So then, while he's busy, we can round most of them off.
Good.
And then there'll only be one of him, and we'll hopefully
And
have
we
the rest
have
of the
planned
lieutenants.
to speak to him.
If he does not kill the task hand first.
I'm
We
going...
may want to
Be very
interfere with that, yes.
would not be very good test head if he got killed like that.
I will.
No, but I don't believe they allow weapons inside of negotiations.
I don't think that's. We can't assume that protocol is being met.
Mm-hmm.
They can't assume anything. We can't. There are many rules in espionage. One of them is don't assume anything.
So, you, with your authority and a couple of the other soldiers on the fort, grab the lower-ranking collaborators and make sure they are detained. We go in with we inform the captain that there's a bit of an emergency, beg their pardon. If he decides to reveal the thing then, we're in position to save the day. And, if he comes out, well, boom, we have all the evidence, and, go from there.
Ahmed, I love your outlook on life.
It's a very good outlook. I will gather everyone necessary. I'll have
I am not
people.
being sarcastic. I genuinely do.
I'll have-
I like to think that a bit of optimism and a touch of hard work will get you through most problems in life, and good old-fashioned touch of the old 1-2 will get you through the others.
So so he finally Lieutenant Fritz, who is a total wheel of steel, has come over him. I'll have people find the corporals, get them ready for a special assignment. I'm going to have a talk with the sergeant. You go into the keep.
Alone.
Excellent.
Alone. There has been no day finer than this one for Palor's Light. I suggest you hurry.
Well, Godspeed, Lieutenant.
Please don't do anything that you wouldn't want the lieutenant to know when you meet her at the gates, so to speak.
Bear that in mind. Make your way, adventurers, and I'll sweeten the pot. And he marches out.
All right. Do you want me to become Faral now, or once we have the captain alone?
Once we have the captain alone, well,
Yeah.
I'm not sure we'll need it now, but your call. I trust your judgment. I ain't the brains of this operation. I am the muscle.
Oh, I think knowing their code phrase will be helpful, but I have an idea.
Ooh.
Could you all arrest me?
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab Phase and start tying their wrists.
Phases,
No hesitation.
Could you at least explain the rest of this
yes,
idea?
I was going to. If you go to the captain and tell the captain that you have found an infiltrator, a spy, and that his attention is needed immediately, if he takes me to an interrogation room, I can speak to him and let him think that I am Farad. And you bring the rest of the leadership to watch the interrogation room.
And if the captain suspects that this is a ruse?
Why would he?
Then we have, like Ahmed said, we have enough the evidence without it.
I will trust your judgment.
Listen, in the world, people in power will never mistrust people like us. No power, very low on chain, foreign.
Foreign.
As we're having this conversation, or rather, they're having the conversation, Jonesy's sort of just been sitting in the corner, and then his Drip is just gonna do his usual and chest burst out
Oh,
and leave the tent.
It's an office, so think of it. It's sort of this. Yeah, like if I don't know if people watch Game of Thrones. Think of it as like the Knight Commander's office.
like a war room almost.
Yeah, like a war room. You can see that Lieutenant Fritz is more of a strategist, and a quartermaster than a combat official. Actually, I'll give that to you guys because I'll also mention it's very weird for anyone to have a dagger like that.
Yeah.
That's
So-
ceremonial.
There's a certain red flag there that looks like a blue flag. Like it's a good flag. It's a good flag. This guy's here to help us. But it's just sort of like,
Also
interesting.
purple flag there.
Very much like, oh, well, that ain't normal. There
Yeah.
it is. We
Just-
may have found a very good person to have on hand,
Just like,
or at least a very strange person to have on hand.
I do not want to get in that man's way right now.
Wait, so Drip is going out the window?
Drip is going out of here, whether it through
Jonesy,
a window or
Jonesy,
just a door.
Jonesy, what's happening?
Your snake left.
Just going
Snake?
I'm gonna get a eye in the sky.
No.
All right.
Good idea.
Yeah,
Greatly
I
appreciate
cannot-
it, Sandra.
Since
I
it's a
cannot
pseudo
control. I cannot control Kismet while I am like this, so it would be nice.
All right. So, let's head on over.
I'm gonna
I'm just
finish.
kind of-
I need to type up the names that were mentioned during this real quick for you guys.
Mhm.
We
Thank
can
you.
have a fun filler conversation while that's happening.
Yes. So standing plan.
Phases has like switched and is like sullen about being led around and like is like tugging against the ropes as you pull them along.
Tone it down a notch. It wasn't that bad.
Okay, I'm good. But if you disguise yourself, by the way, as Faral Phases, Faral's is sort of like interesting.
What? Do you not like it when we use your tactics?
No, I've never had anyone disguise themselves as me before. I
Have
I
you
look
ever
a little
seen
ridiculous.
yourself? Oh well, you can't tell me you look ridiculous.
I don't know if I like that tone of voice or if I do. We're gonna go
Oh,
to
dear.
I just know that I look very ridiculous.
For all had assumed you were flirting with her for a second, and it's just sort of like, I don't know if this is something I like or not, leaning towards the latter. So Jonesy, you're sending out Drip. Where do you want Drip to go?
Well, first I want to go up into the sky and get a glance around, since we've been in this room having this conversation for at least a little bit.
Alrighty. So you can see that it's a big garrison. This in wartime it would be a war front. It has it's under construction. A lot of it's under construction. A lot of it's under repair. There are parts of war machines being dredged out of sort of caved in parts of walls. Rooms are being restored. Scorch marks on the stone. This garrison has weathered many assaults over many long periods of time. There are different parts of it that look modern, some a little older. But otherwise, people might have been walking past the room, but they haven't really been peeping in. You don't see anyone peeping in right now necessarily. You make me a perception check while you're out there to see if there's anything else.
Okay. Oh, Drip and Jonesy have the same perception.
Ooh.
Let's roll this.
Oh shit!
Shit.
Ooh,
I
Yes.
am going to tell you.
what a great day.
I'm going to give you three. I'm going to tell you a couple things, and I'll give you a couple options. Natural 20. Drip is like moving around parts of the keep with ease. You're hearing some people talk, converse. Some people who are just sort of like I just saw Lieutenant Fritz move forward. I've never seen him so determined. And this other guy's just sort of like, first for everything. And moving forward, you can actually see where Lieutenant Fritz went. He went to a different part of the second story, which looks like there might be an armory there. There might be a cafeteria. In addition, there is various other offices, and like it looks like he walks into one particular door on the other side of the garrison. You can see it with the natural 20. You don't have to like imagine. It's relatively easy to imagine what the people in the room look like, but full of life. You see a couple of them are being talked to by some of the other corporals and privates, and they're like, hey, if you want to listen on that conversation, you can be like, what's this for exactly? Well, you're being requested by Lieutenant Fritz. So you're going to wait in one of the workout rooms next to his office. And there's sort of like exchange looks between each other. Sure, thank you. We'll go right away. Kayana? And kind of nods, and the three of them begin to walk slowly towards that side, like your side of the garrison, but not to your room. You can also see several Roar Watch soldiers entering the keep. So we have three scenes that Drip could go to. You can go to where the three corporals are going, to what Lieutenant Fritz is about to be up to, or you can listen in on, try to see if you can listen stealth in on the diplomacy.
Aurora Watch showed up.
Yeah, here for the negotiations.
Well, I'm sure it's none of our business.
And three corporals, or I can look into the diplomacy. Oh no. I wasn't expecting the choices to be like this.
Do you want me to like?
That's very solid snake of you.
Do you want me to tell you what might be most advantageous? Do you want me to give you a like? Do you want to make me an insight check with advantage on like what one of these might pique your interest more, like more information?
I mean, I will never turn down the opportunity to roll.
That's what we're here for.
15. So Lieutenant Fritz has ordered people to talk to the corporals instead of going himself. He's going to the sergeant's room. So if you want to see what he might be doing with the sergeant, you can have Drip encroach on that conversation and try stealth. You could be watching where the corporals are going, because the corporals might exchange a look between each other. But they are going to where they were ordered. You can listen in on them, or you could have everyone. You could tell everyone where they're going, and maybe we should deal with them first. Or Aurora Watch came in to be part of like sort of the armed escorts, armed guards of the Kreen diplomats. You could listen in on the diplomacy, see what maybe if the captain's waiting for anything, or if there's anything specific being talked about in that room. So you have some curiosities, you have some things that could be priority, but the timetable is a little bit unclear. So I can say that maybe I will try to reward and punish either swiftness or patience.
Diplomacy. I think our current plan is to
Interrupt the diplomacy.
interrupt the diplomacy. So I think Drip is gonna follow I forgot his name, to the sergeant.
Lieutenant
to the sergeant, and Jonesy is gonna gonna basically warg and eyes roll back and be present for whatever is going down there. So Jonesy just goes stock still, and the light from the eyes fade, and then he's where Drip is.
I will
He's dripping.
dripping. He's dripping.
Jonesy be dripping.
Jonesy be dripping. Give me a stealth check for Drip.
Drip. Oh, he has a +4. Nice. It's better than mine.
Yeah, we gotta watch his
Sneaky
ass.
little baby.
I hope so.
22. Nice. So it looks this room it's slightly identical. Less paperwork. It seems to be more has its own maybe training space. There's armor, there's weapon rack. The sergeant has a medallion, like a medal, hanging across his chest. His hair is a sort of well kept, but his uniform looks a little out of sorts, and he's kind of reclined on a chair drinking from a bottle. There's a knock. Drip is hiding maybe in like you can hide in water if you want to make it super cool. Like hide it in like just a random vial of of liquor or something. And you hear just slurred words. Come in. Hey, Sergeant, how's it going?
Very good. I have the
I've never been more terrified in my
Schreiber.
life.
Schreiber. It's 20 years. 20 good years.
And Fritz is sort of like, wow, that's very old. That's a pretty interesting vintage. Did you get? How long have you had that?
Shipped in today. Very lucky. Good tradesman here.
And Fritz is just sort of like, wow, you're spending a lot of money on ale. Do you get a windfall or something? We've been deployed here for a couple months.
My wife had a very good, successful harvest. Very successful.
You sure you should be drinking on the job, Clay?
The captain, he wanted me out of the way, so here I am, out of the way.
I'm glad you're having a good time. Good harvest. I'm glad. Dawnfather has many gifts for us. He gives and he takes. There are a lot of people I wish could enjoy such wonderful ale. Our troops could probably use it after dredging bodies out all these weeks. And there's small conversations going forward, and then Fritz is sort of like, Sergeant, I have a question for you. Do you like the Empire?
The Empire has treated me very well. Has treated you very well. Has treated all of us very well. Despite this war, we're making do.
Yeah, good. I really like our Empire. I love being part of the Righteous Brand. I've faced a lot of loss in my life. There are a lot of things that I've lost, and there are a lot of things I hate. Sometimes it's good to know that something you hate can be something that everyone hates. I don't know what you're getting at. For a long time, I thought you were a rotten, sloppy solipsist. That was the extent of it. I could tolerate that. You had been through enough. I thought you had been through enough. And so I turned my eye towards things I like less. The enemy. Decay and disease. I don't like traitors, Clay. And the fact that you're a traitor makes it so much easier. Fritz, I don't know what they're talking about. Are you doing all right? And Fritz is just sort of like.
No.
Fritz is just sort of like. I put a lot of things to bed when I came here. If it was someone I didn't know, it was a random face of a useless, fruitless war, I would have been okay with that. But the man drunkenly singing war songs and being praised as a hero behind your back was Palor's light. There is no finer day than this one for Palor's light. Clay, there's also been no worse day than this one to not have his mercy. And just kind of like Clay's just sort of like and like just like still clueless. There's a moment where you barely even see what happens. There is this strange pulse of light, and the man's throat has been slit and burnt. And light just emerges from his blade and then just puts it away. And
Whoops.
Sleep well, Clay. And walks out.
Does he turn into a drow when the spell breaks?
Nope.
Okay, so
There's a traitor. They mentioned there's a traitor.
No, Clay was the traitor. Clay was the traitor. We
Clay
knew
was the
that.
traitor.
Oh, right.
We knew
Yes.
that
So-
Clay was the
okay,
traitor.
he was just drunk.
So Drip, Drip, from everything you have interpreted from
I
this
forgot.
Fritz beated on the fact that the traitor was the one who killed Talia. And so things are cleaning the place like he's been looking for like a lot of things came to mind for him the moment he learned about everything. So Sergeant Clay's dead. His throat has been slit. And Fritz remorselessly just walks out of the room as if nothing happened and sort of like demurs himself a little bit and like, oh, hi guys, how's it going? Like Prevent.
Oh shit.
You know what? Me too.
Damn, you scary.
Good for you, dude. Good for
How's
you.
the sergeant? How's the sergeant, Lieutenant? Oh, he was very drowsy. You don't want to get in there. He's been, and sort of he's Clark Kenting it a bit.
Jonesy. This door has a lock, right? Like, there's a way to hold back this situation for a little longer, right? Like,
Why do we need a lock? Why do we need a lock?
Well, not where we are. We're tripping.
Oh yeah, no.
With a dead body now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an issue.
He's making his way down to the room where the corporals are now, by the way.
It's an issue, but it's not our issue.
That's the kind of
I
shit you
will
watch
be
from a
honest,
distance.
Don't feel need to stop him.
Jonesy is. Jonesy informed Joel, of course, of the happenings.
For all his eyes widen, this is like, is this what the righteous Brenner are like? What?
That is just what he is like.
She just politely sits down somewhere. It's sort of like,
The Empire is kind of fucked up.
Cops, am I
People.
right?
That's why we're trying to
Yeah,
kill you all.
exactly.
I guess.
Yeah.
Listen,
yeah.
the Empire is kind of fucked up. The Kryn are kind of fucked up. I don't want to be a spider either, though. So
We are freelancers.
Yeah. So
everyone is fucked
are we like waiting outside the door to the
We're
diplomatic
going to get
room,
the
or-
yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
were
we
walking
gotta
over
go
all the
handle the
competitors, so, like,
diplomacy
where do we
situation.
end up when we cut back to us?
Okay, so we're kind of.
I assume we've left Faral in the
Yeah,
lieutenant's office.
yeah,
We
didn't
left Pharrell
bring her
there, so
with
yeah.
us.
If you guys are already in like, so I'm gonna say,
No, do not leave her in there alone. He will kill her.
Well, we
Well,
can't
he was
bring
only
her with
murdered the
us.
guy who specifically
No, I
murdered his friend.
I think we just wrap
He
for
might
all
murder
like
the
we
other
did the
four,
bodies and
but
hand her
maybe they'll
to
be-
Ahmed.
Yes, Ahmed can carry her with the bodies. Do not
Okay.
leave her alone. He will murder her.
Because we can't bring her with us because then
Well,
the
but we
captain will
didn't
see that
know
there's
that
two of
at
us.
the time.
Well,
But
I
yeah.
mean hidden,
All right,
but
we'll go.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
We're
Wrapped up with the
are
bodies
we like
again.
outside the door? What's the chamber that this meeting's going on in?
so you guys are entering the keep. It's not supposed to be extravagant, but it is this massive sort of like place where barracks are, where like armories. There is like war rooms reserved for strategists and of course diplomats. You imagine that there's probably been a lot of wars in which that they've had to meet here. So you come up and there are Aurora Watch and Righteous Brand at the front door, and there are some you can kind of hear muffled things, and you see one of the Aurora Watch looks at you and looks at to the Righteous Brand. Righteous Brand are like greetings. What can I do you for? This
We really need to speak to the captain. Like, Phases is now disguised and like in robed out. Like, we really need to speak to the captain. We made our report to the lieutenant, but this is a high priority situation. Kind of need a pretty immediate resolution too. We really need the captain out here.
one of the Aurora Watch is like, Laxon, why do you have and
This is not Crane.
goes to Phases and just looks at them like, you're right, this isn't clean. Make me a persuasion deception check. Yeah, deception check.
Phases or
I'll allow advantage with whoever does it. It can be Phases
Oh
too.
shit!
Go for it, Phases.
Alright.
I've got +4. What are you?
Don't
What are
you
you
got
rolling?
22?
I've got +6.
Oh, no, that's
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Ouch.
Did not fucking matter. I rolled 2 4s.
The Aurora Watch is just sort of like, you don't look like one of the Aurora Watch. If you have one of the dynasty in custody, we would.
I spit in his face.
Can I do intimidation?
I'm gonna say
Look, I don't think she's one of yours. I think we've got another big situation here. We need to talk to the captain. He'll be back for negotiations later, or we'll have someone back for negotiations later. But this is a big deal shit. I tried to murder us.
That's not gonna lie.
I want to look the Aurora Watch person directly in the face and say in Undercommon, Mother wants us all back.
So
I don't know what she said, but it sounded real unpleasant.
So here's the thing. A 10. First of all, like that's really cool. Like all of them like are interpreting this, and as part of the check, the Aurora Watch is like, we will need to discuss this with the task hand, but this certainly warrants talk with your captain. And the Wretched Friend like, all right, I guess we'll go inside and we'll let the captain. This is going to make a lot of people unhappy. So push open the door. You can see. In this room there are several sort of well-dressed drow with the symbols of the Luxon, which is like the dodecahedron. For those who watch Critical Role, there is a drow here that is was seen at the early onset of Jorhas, Lythier Vasoon, you heard his name. This very well cut hair. This look at the stain on the as he's staring at the Righteous Brand and the Dwendalian diplomats. This older looking humans on the other side with this regal robes and this sort of even just from a glance at him, you can tell he has this very enrapturing charisma to him. And they're talking about various things when both soldiers go to each side and go to the captain and the emissary lord, and then also the task hand and the Aurora Watch mage, whispering each other's ears, and there's various talks going on, and captain's just like, "I'll deal with this. Continue." And marches outside, and his eye. I'm gonna ask anyone for a insight check.
Let's go inside.
Yeah.
What's insight? Wisdom? I do
Yes.
insight.
17.
22.
Hey.
Do I need?
God damn it! I keep rolling natural ones. There's just farts everywhere.
Oh, natural
Damn, Sedge
20,
with that natural
Sedge.
20.
Yeah.
So there is so to most people, it's because it's still an 8 technically. For a lot of people, one can assume there's just like this quirked eyebrows, like what is going on here. Natural 20 and 22. His eyes have this strange texture to him. Looks back at the room.
I don't like that.
He is going to make an insight check on this situation immediately before you can do the phrase anything, because
Like a maneuver where the PCs were the only ones allowed to do insight. No.
Come on, natural fart.
Alrighty. Insight. So, any deceptions on this? A being the real for all, and B the how up his ruse is.
Yeah. Should I just roll straight?
Roll me straight.
Look, she tried to kill us, and we're down to cast her, and then she started yelling in Undercommon, and
my
this is
I-
really
I'm-
over
I'm-
my
I'm
job.
gonna, like,
18.
shake phases and like I'm trying to keep them in line.
This is
18.
concerning. I can't imagine what you have been through. We should go somewhere else to discuss this. We had seen you had gone missing, and as he says that he is going to he rolled a 20 on his insight, so he's casting Misty Step. And so as he says, and let me just, and he's somewhere else.
Only
Thir-
30
Did it
feet.
go? Aseneth will say that out loud. Just with
Wait, it's 30 feet to a place you can see, right?
Yeah. So
After you saw it in line of
he's
sight.
he I think for a moment he looks out the window, and
Excellent. I jump out the window after him. I
so we're on third story. I'm gonna need you to roll me. I need you to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Wait,
The monk gets a dexterity saving throw. Oh no, whatever shall he do?
Dexterity. It's a dexterity.
Hey, this is my worst stat.
It's a dexterity saving
With
throw.
those monster stats that you rolled?
I didn't say it was a bad stat. It's just my worst.
17. All right. So I'm gonna say this was like 20 feet up. So I'm just gonna roll like maybe a d6 or 2d6, and you'll take half.
All right. Do I get? Oh no, I don't have slow fall yet. Do I?
You take 3 bludgeoning damage. Kaldrim is mid-air in flight.
Is he floating?
He has casted flight on himself.
Excellent. I'm grabbing
wait,
him as I
no!
soar through the air.
Make me
so we have
attack.
to make-
We are about to roll initiative.
I don't. It's a. We can do a. We can go straight to grapple checks.
we're okay. Go ahead, give me a grapple check real quick.
Geez.
Average Ahmed taking out.
So
Entire
lower than
Ahmed.
9.
I got inspiration near the end of section 2. Did I spend it?
I think you spent your inspiration.
Yeah. Okay.
I gave someone else
I should've
inspiration
used mine.
last one.
I have it.
I also have inspiration.
So yeah, so you both have inspiration. That can be useful later. It has to roll higher than 9. That's a 7.
Yes!
So we are going to
Ahmed!
roll. I'm going to take us to our map because it's time to roll initiative.
Son of a gun.
I'm dropping.
So,
I'm
as I
dropping
grab him
this
out
guy's
of
self.
the air, I think he also takes the falling damage. I've now
Yeah, he takes 3.
This is
And you watch his disguise melt away like clay, like liquid clay, and like you see the noble, like the handsome man who is just awful, just an awful person. So it's that like weird kind of beautiful ugly, if you know what I mean, like a Republican, like a Republican senator in his 30s.
a handsome
So
smile
Madison
with no
Cawthorn.
soul behind the eye.
Madison Cawthorn. I was gonna say it, but you said it for me. Thank you. So before we, because so you tackle him, and Kaldrim's just sort of like, did Falal die honorably?
Wouldn't you like
I
to
don't
know?
answer. I think like I jump out the window. There's this moment
Don't
where one of
answer.
his arms stretches, like that scene at the end of Space Jam where it looks like his arm is dislocating. It's stretching too far for the human body. It looks agonizing because it looks like I've missed him in the jump out first. That wasn't a high roll. Grabs him, pulls him in. We slab to the ground. I'm going to spend my bonus action to attack because a grapple's an attack action.
Okay.
I'm just
Give me
gonna
one
go
more.
ahead and punch him
Also,
while we're
I
here.
can't roll initiative because there's no combat going.
We're gonna probably have to end here. I was just wanting to like
Yeah.
get us in a good place.
Natural one. That doesn't go great for me.
So
but
natural
slamming
one.
the ground-
You actually see he does something in reaction to you. I think he's actually gonna cast a I think he'll try to push you off with his staff.
All right. So does that just mean another athletics check?
He's
or-
making an attack on you right now.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Does a 15 hit?
Yes, a 15 hits.
And
Oh,
he's
boy.
doing this normal because he's being grappled right now. And that is another d6. So that would be a six full damage. As you hear Kaldrim say, like prestidigitation with his voice. The mother needs you. Come to my aid. And a door bursts open, and people begin to file out. And the last thing you see is Kaldrim say, "One way or another, this war will begin again." And we're gonna cut there.
Well,
Just
fuck.
just grapple, wrangling through the sky, and then suddenly, as he's been made, just sort of like, I'm going all in. So, Ahmed, thank you for taking the initiative on that. That was so cool. A lot of cool things
Ahmed's
happened
great.
to the session.
What would we do without our extremely average man?
Our
Truly.
extremely average homie, Ahmed.
I'm so sad that I was a bad liar the one time I needed to be a good liar.
Right?
Yeah.
The one time we needed the
I rolled
dice
so
roll to
poorly
come
on those
out.
2 rolls.
I wanted to give you every chance. It's just like the hair trigger going, like the mind games going on. It's just there's only so much where they can be like, I have to deploy the plan, or I have to get out of here, and then like revise before the mission fails. So like the moment where he was like the suspicion of like, oh, drow here, she's not supposed to be here. It's likely that I'm bought out too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So
and we still have Baral because presumably Ahmed handed her off to one of us before that happened, right?
Probably
Yeah,
set
she
the
wasn't
bodies
going to be
down,
in line
yeah.
of sight of the thing, so.
I was gonna say, if you went out with her, you might you tackled Kaldrim, and then it just.
Did Ahmed die on this,
with
or
Pharrell.
did Pharrell die on this plane? She's about to, if you look right there.
Okay, so we're gonna go through all of us again, and then next, I believe either next week or the week after, we are going to do
Week after,
our
yeah.
final confrontation against the Children of Malice. Thank you guys so much for watching and sticking with us. This has been so fun. Rue, would you like to introduce yourself and where you can be found?
Oh yeah. Hello, my name is Rue. I use they or he pronouns, and I've been playing your friendly little weirdo Phases who uses they them pronouns. You can find me on Twitter as @IlanaKnight13 and everywhere else like Itch and Instagram as just Ilana Knight. I am a Diana Jones Emerging Designer Award-nominated game designer, a sensitivity reader, and a tabletop streamer and content creator. On top of this stream, you can also catch me every other Sunday on the Huntsman's Hydra, where I play Blades in the Dark, and every other Friday, where I GM a Tal'Dorei campaign on Bards and Brews.
A very wonderful Phases. Good work with everything this session. Next we have Scout.
Hello, I am Scout Savage, also known as Neonsaline, everywhere on the internet where you can have a profile. If I'm not there under that name, it's not me. I am usually a video game streamer. I stream on Thursdays and Saturdays usually, and I'm here on Mondays playing D&D because these kind people decided that I could play with the other kids. I am playing Aseneth. She is a paladin of the Everlight and tries really, really hard to do the right thing, even if she might want to drop people down pits. But that's not the first option, it's the last option, so now we're in this situation. Should have dropped her in the pit. Oh well.
Knocking Aseneth out of the park, frankly. Some really cool stuff happening. You saved Pharrell, who has a lot going for her, I guess.
This could be very interesting. I was just like, it would be kind of funny if she became like a friend of the party.
Well, we'll see. I think she's certainly grown a little bit less serious, taking herself less seriously. But yeah, thank you so much. We'll excited to see Aseneth in next session. Alrighty. Next we have Rena.
Hi, I am @Liquidrina on every social media platform that I can think of. Sorry, I got distracted.
Oh.
You can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, on Twitch. I'm hopefully coming out of my hiatus for Pride, but we will see, because currently a lot of my focus is on my GoFundMe and various other fundraisers for my dog's medical bills. So if you want to hit up my Twitter or my card, liquidrina.card.co, to see those, that would be fantastic. You can also catch me on the Friday campaign that Rue mentioned earlier. I wanted to just call it Crack Foundations. I forgot where it took place.
Oh, it's on Bards and Brews.
Yeah. And besides that, it's a surprise. You have to follow me on Twitter to find out where else I'm gonna be.
Ooh.
Scavenger hunt.
Ooh.
Real cool. Very cool. Then thank you, Rena. Loving Baby, loving Sedge. So many cool things coming about as you're trying to make your new herd. Next we have Bashir.
Hey, I'm Ahmed-Basheer Ghouse, he, him, tabletop RPG freelancer. I've written culturally consulted for most of the RPGs you like. I'm also making my own RPG, Ahadi. You can follow me on Twitter at Ahmed-Basheer Ghouse, or find me across the internet either as Bashir Ghouse or as Havoc Fett if you want to learn more about that. I play Average Ahmed, he, him. An extremely average orc with nothing strange about him. Ignore that arm dislocation bit. Just need flavor text, nothing more to it. Sure, that won't come up again.
There's
That's fine.
I've seen some stuff on your Twitter about some stuff in the works. It looks really cool. It's very exciting. You tackling the flying mage through a window reminds me of a character, an NPC I have to play in one of my home games, and one of my friends tried to bring up music for like the NFL, but it was actually a commercial for like order delivery for Domino's. So like when it tackled him, it was order delivery from Domino's, and it's been his mantra since. I just couldn't help but think about that.
Amazing.
But thank you, Bashir. Check out Bashir. He has great stuff. And finally, we have Par.
Hey, I'm Par. I'm on this channel for not only this campaign, but also the Thursday campaign at the same time. There I play, well, a holy person. So if you want to change from Jonesy, who's a little icky at times, you can see it there. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Par40 and at Par Professional, and you can find me on Twitch at Mr. Par. And that's it for me.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, you're just excited for everything. I am Chatterbox AVA. I run this Twitch channel. Not doing much right now. Been writing and doing some D&D stuff. We are going to be on hiatus for this week's game as well, as we are, we are having a little change of the guard, new player coming in. So we're working things out. But next week we should be live with that, and then after that, the week after, that would be the I believe that would be the 20th would be when we come back for Rise of the Ancients. So we'll see you guys then. Take care of yourselves. Have a happy 2 weeks, and yeah, have a good one, guys.
Have a good one. Bye, everybody.
Peace and love. All worlds. Oh.